Keowen, look what I bought. I looked at Ju My Lin carrying a large bag of fried chicken. I realized I was reincarnated. Looking at her with difficulty squeezing into the bedroom door, the door frame still slightly pressed. I couldn't help but feel sorry for the poor door. That's right. My name is Lam Keo and Ju My Lin and I are close friends in college and also roommates. She and I are both famous for being fat in class. I weigh 115 pounds. Ju My Lin weighs 114 pounds, 1 pound lighter than me. That's always the reason she's proud. Because thanks to me as a background, she's not the fattest person. But she always ignores the fact that I'm 1.70 tall, and she's only 1.50 tall. Even though in front of outsiders, she always emphasizes that she is 1.65 tall. Everyone who understands her understands. Ju My Lin saw me looking at her bewilderedly, and a trace of impatience appeared on her face. Keowen, look what I brought for you, fried chicken. Come down and eat. I lazily got out of bed, looked at the huge bag inside. There was only a pathetic piece of half-bitten fried chicken. I immediately understood that she wasn't kind enough to buy me food. It was clear that this was something she couldn't finish eating, so she left it for me, not wasting anything and being kind. I smiled awkwardly and said, My Lin, thank you, but I'm losing weight lately. You can eat it yourself. Looking at her contorted face, I thought to myself, You're so fat. She pretended not to notice and waved her hand. Keowen, let's go eat seafood buffet today. I raised my eyebrows at her. If you eat a seafood buffet, who will pay? There was calculation in her eyes. Keowen, look, I've already invited you to eat fried chicken. Now how about you invite me to eat a seafood buffet? I try to be patient. My Lin, if you want to eat, go eat yourself. I want to lose weight. She blurted out. If I go out to eat, who will pay? At the critical moment, she stopped. She smiled shyly. Didn't we make an appointment to lose weight together? Let's go to the seafood buffet today, eat a full meal, then lose weight tomorrow. I didn't answer. She took her bag and left the bedroom. In my previous life, Ju My Lin and I made an appointment to lose weight together. I persistently limit myself, eating only green vegetables and boiled eggs at each meal to scientifically lose weight. I even had to pay for a personal trainer, which was extremely expensive. But she eats 5 meals a day, sometimes even more. Every meal includes fried chicken, pig's feet, and even a large cup of milk tea and 1 liter of Coca-Cola. Every time she finishes eating, she wipes her mouth, then starts shouting the slogan, Tomorrow, I will definitely lose weight. Even on my way to losing weight, she was still doing all kinds of things to get in my way, every day bringing all kinds of greasy, high-calorie foods to tempt me. At that time, I still didn't think much, thinking that she just lost a friend because I didn't eat with her anymore. Unexpectedly, she simply didn't want me to be better than her and couldn't stand the fact that I was no longer the fattest person. During the summer break of my second year of college, I was at the gym all day. After vacation, finally lost 50 pounds. I'm tall and weigh 65 pounds. Although I'm not too skinny, because I lost weight by exercising, my physique is very balanced, no longer the giant like before. Wherever you go, you are the center of attention. Ju My Lin saw me getting thinner and immediately questioned, Why are you skinny? Who allowed you to be skinny? The jealousy in her eyes was clearly visible. I looked at her, hit the table, threw books, kicked chairs to get a little angry. In my previous life, I naively thought that she was just a little intolerant because she suddenly saw me becoming thinner, so she didn't even talk to me for a week. Then she suddenly came to me to reconcile. She said she was just so surprised that I suddenly became thinner, so she wasn't particularly used to it. Apparently, we made an appointment to lose weight together, but I didn't wait for her, so she got angry. I was also too naive, yet I believed in that reason. Furthermore, when everyone refused to play with me, she was always by my side, so this quickly passed. In my heart, after reconciling, she always criticized me from one place to another. She said that I was skinny and not beautiful at all, that I didn't have any happiness on my face. She even bought fried chicken and cream cakes, things I used to love to eat, wanting me to gain weight again. I worked very hard to lose weight. Of course, I wouldn't listen to her. She looked at me with dark eyes. I didn't pay attention at that time. After that, my health got worse and worse. My hair started falling out in large handfuls, and I began to lose control over my eating and binge eating. Stomach feels like it's never full. My weight increased very quickly, even tending to exceed the previous level. My neck became black and large. My figure began to have a hunchback and broad shoulders. Looking at myself in the mirror, I didn't even dare go out. Unexpectedly, on the surface, Ju Lin pretended to be a good friend to me, but behind her back, she put the sow's contraceptive pills in my water. It's a hormone that causes big changes in my weight and body shape. To avoid further harm, I moved back home and started studying abroad. Because I no longer had to take hormones, my weight began to slowly decrease, returning to my previous figure. But right now, on the school forum, someone posted my photo. There's a photo of me changing clothes, there's a photo of me taking a shower, and there's a photo of me happily leaning on my dad's shoulder when he came to school to pick me up. The forum saw this and said I was being taken care of by a big brother outside the school. There were even many people below the post who commented on my body shape, with harsh words and strange looks that made me unbearable. Finally, I suffered from severe depression, and my weight once again plummeted to 45 pounds. The fact that I lost weight again angered Ju Lin even more. She then colluded with a hoodlum outside the school and sold me to him for 20 yuan. Right before they drugged me, I found out in time. While the two sides were struggling, the hoodlum accidentally stabbed a knife into my stomach. They panicked, thinking I was dead, so they dragged me to the suburbs and buried me alive in the mountains. In my half-awake body, I saw them digging a hole, heard Ju Lin mutter, "Don't look for me. It's all because of you. Who told you to betray me first? Obviously we were fat together. You insisted on losing weight alone. It's all because you betrayed me." I just found out that everything was done by her. In her eyes, me losing weight first was betraying her. Having come back to life again, I have returned to the time before losing weight. It hasn't happened yet. Kioan, why don't you pay attention to me? Ju Lin used a hand that could only be compared to a nail to push me. It's decided. Let's go to the seafood buffet tonight. I looked at her, impersonating her tone and facial features. Clinging to each other looks ridiculous, yet still wants to appear cute. Thinking I was Hello Kitty, I wished I could hit her in the face with a spiked club. I really don't know why she had such a thick skin, gave me a half-gnawed piece of fried chicken, and yet still wanted me to invite her to a seafood buffet for 369 yuan. In my previous life, I foolishly thought that we were close friends. There was no need to be so good at calculating things. Moreover, her family background is also normal, so every time we go out, I pay. Every time she goes to a seafood buffet, she chooses dishes that are high in fat, salt, and calories. Even though she knew I was losing weight, she still deliberately ate and drank to her heart's content in front of me. Now that I think about it, she just saw me as an ATM. I coldly refused. If you want to eat, go eat yourself. I have to go home tonight for work. Having finished speaking, I took my bag and left, not forgetting to bring my glass of water. Hey, Kioan. I continued walking, not paying attention to the unpleasant sounds behind me. Walking on the street full of bright lights, the joy of Trong Sin enveloped me, making my whole body tremble. I'm back. God has given me a chance to live again. After calming down, I started thinking about the next step. This time, I absolutely will not let anyone hurt me. Those who hurt me in my previous life, I absolutely will not forgive them. In my previous life, Ju Lin was jealous of my successful weight loss and harmed me. In this life, I will definitely let her bear the consequences. Looking down at the fat on my body and my legs that were too fat to even fit, I sighed. I still had to lose weight. Therefore, I started planning to lose weight. Going to the gym of my previous life, I bought an expensive workout session with a personal trainer. The next day when I returned to the bedroom, Ju Lin was eating a whole fried chicken. Seeing me, she immediately raised her greasy hand. Humph. I called you that yesterday, but you didn't pay any attention to me. As punishment, you invited me to a seafood buffet. I looked at her coldly, and then past her. Kioan, why don't you pay attention to me? Her deliberately coy voice gave me goosebumps all over my body. Can't you see I'm reading a book? I raised my head from the book and looked at her. A trace of guilt appeared on Ju Lin's face. Oh my, stop reading. I invite you to eat fried chicken. As she spoke, she ran over and took the fishing buoy and gave it to me. She gave it to me as if she were offering something precious. Eat. This part is the most nutritious part. I coldly glanced at the greasy fishing float and laughed coldly in my heart. Seeing that I didn't move, Ju Lin, without saying a word, put the piece of meat against my mouth. I invite you to eat fried chicken. You invite me to eat seafood buffet. We are still best friends. Roommate Lai Van couldn't help but roll his eyes. You're really thick-faced. If you give someone a balloon to eat, do you want them to invite you to a seafood buffet for 369 yuan? Why are some people so shameless? When Ju Lin heard these words, she was angry. This is Kyo, and who has agreed with me? Who are you? Maybe you see that our relationship is good, so you're jealous and want to separate us. I smirked sarcastically. Who agreed to invite you to eat? Van is right. You invited me a piece of fried chicken. You don't need it, but you want me to invite you to an expensive seafood buffet. You really know how to calculate. Lai Van laughed and glanced at me in surprise. Ju Lin said in surprise, didn't you agree yesterday? I said firmly, I don't agree at all. I just said I'm losing weight and don't go out to eat. Ju Lin's expression became awkward. So I heard wrong. Kyoan, how can you say that to me? How can our friendship be measured by money? Didn't I invite you to eat fried chicken yesterday? Are you talking about the piece of fried chicken you bitten off yesterday? Lai Van laughed loudly again. Ju Lin pretended to be aggrieved and said, that is also a bit of my heart. The smell of tea is too strong. If this tea is dumped into the Yellow River, the whole country will have Longjing tea to drink. Lai Van said calmly. I happily smirked, picked up my school bag, and prepared to go out. Where are you going? I'm going to the library. I'll go with you. Lai Van followed me. Lai Van curiously asked, isn't the relationship between you and Ju Lin very good? Why did it suddenly change? So before, he was the only one willing to play with me, I answered. Who said that? Truong Ju and I both want to play with you. I turned my head to look at her in surprise. Ju Lin told me, you and Truong Ju said I was both fat and ugly and didn't want to come close to me. They felt I was degrading your beauty. Lai Van was surprised. When did it happen? How can we say that? We have never talked about that. She lied. I suddenly realized that it seemed Ju Lin was lying, intentionally ruining my relationships. I don't like Ju Lin. She always takes advantage of others. Only you are willing to be a fool for her to take advantage of, Lai Van. Explanation is in my head. It turns out that in the eyes of the two of them, I have such an image. What I hate the most is that she eats, drinks, and uses other people's food. Lai Van continued to say, that's true. Every meal, Ju Lin clearly orders herself, but still wants to eat other people's food. Every time it's time to eat, she takes a pair of chopsticks, picking up a piece here, picking up a piece there. Every meal is like that. If I give, I have to suffer. If I don't give, I become stingy. And the shampoo, shower gel, and skincare products are all mine today, someone else's tomorrow. A bottle of lotion, 100 milliliters of water. She used just a little, and it reduced by half. She also used the excuse that her face was big, so she should use a little more. So me and the other two roommates were miserable because of this. I smiled and went to the library with Lai Van. In my previous life, thanks to my two roommates asking me if I had been poisoned, I promptly brought my daily food and drinks for testing. Sure enough, hormones were discovered. I went to the library for two purposes. One was to study, and the other was to find Bin and Ju Lin's online date. Also a fourth-year student about to graduate, it is currently the time for final-year students to write their graduation thesis. Therefore, Bin will definitely be in the library. Ju Lin, although both fat and ugly, always pretends to have a coy voice when she talks, just the way men like it. Bin is the person she met through the game. The two of them play games together every night. In Bin's heart, Ju Lin is the image of white skin, beauty, and long legs. Even though they sent photos to each other, Ju Lin's photos were all edited. The editing was very careful, so until now Bin still hasn't seen Ju Lin's true appearance. Recently, Bin often asked to meet, but Ju Lin politely refused. That's why something happened. In her previous life, Ju Lin proactively asked me to lose weight together. It's just that she doesn't have enough self-control because of the male god and can't lose weight. I wonder what expression Bin will have when he sees Ju Lin's true face. I was thinking when a handsome, well-educated male student and two other people came out of the library. I asked Lai Van to go ahead and reserve a spot, and then headed towards Bin. Are you Bin? In my previous life, I secretly followed Ju Lin to see it, so I immediately recognized it at a glance. Who are you? You are Ju Lin's boyfriend, right? I often hear you and Ju Mai Lin playing games together, so hearing your voice feels familiar. Who is Ju Mai Lin? Binan asked suspiciously. It's Ju Tian Ni. His real name is Ju Mai Lin. I continued to explain. Ju Mai Lin was afraid that Binan would find her, so her name and major were all fake. Binan awkwardly scratched his head. Oh my god, Tian Ni told me. Her name is Ju Tian Ni. She majors in economics. Maybe she's just shy? We major in English. I explained again. Binan suddenly understood. Ah, that's it. It's no wonder that every time I asked to meet her, she refused. Tian Ni is really too. Sooner or later we have to meet. So why are you shy? I smirked. He also really wants to meet you. That's right. I heard that his family is starting to pressure him to go on dates. You have to seize the opportunity. When Binan heard that the person in his heart was being forced to go on a blind date, he immediately became impatient. How is that possible? She's my girlfriend. I quickly added, that's right, that's right. My Lin is under a lot of pressure right now, so I came to tell you. Binan seriously nodded. Thank you. But don't tell Tian Ni for now. I want to give her a surprise. I agreed without hesitation. Don't worry, I will definitely keep it a secret. I smirked. Ju Mai Lin's big surprise was about to come. Behind me came a whisper. I was scared to death. I thought that mountain was your goddess. What nonsense are you talking about? My Tian Ni is a goddess. I've seen the photo. What? Do you like that style? Such a unique aesthetic taste. Me again. You. I don't like that mountain. I'm afraid of being crushed to death. The laughter grew farther and farther away. I don't get angry or pay attention to other people's tongues. I look forward to seeing what special expression Binan will have when he sees his goddess. It's very difficult to live again. Of course I will do whatever is necessary to make Ju Mai Lin miserable. The next day, there was a joint study session between English majors and Chinese majors. The classroom was especially large, filled with people. At recess, Binan held a bouquet of 99 red roses, bowed his head, and said something to the teacher. The teacher was also very open, smiling and nodding. Then, the teacher picked up the speaker and said to the whole class, there is a very handsome boy here. Whoever you know, come up and receive flowers. The eyes of every student turned to the podium and saw Binan chatter gradually arose. Everyone was curious as to who the girl being confessed to was. Wow, so handsome, holding such a big bouquet of roses to confess to someone. Wow, so romantic. Who would be so lucky? A series of whistles rang out. Binan not only came alone, but also brought friends. Everyone cheered together. I was surprised, raised my eyebrows, and was very interested in seeing this scene. I originally thought that the most he talked about was just lighting candles under the dormitory and loudly expressing his feelings. I didn't expect him to make such a big deal out of it, coming directly to the classroom. I instinctively looked towards Ju Mai Lin. The moment Ju Mai Lin saw Binan, her face immediately turned pale. The whole person couldn't sit still. His arms and legs were frantic, anxious and worried. Lai Van quickly joined in loudly. Beautiful boy. Did you come to confess? Who did you come to confess to? Screamed loudly. Other people also started cheering, the noise getting louder and louder. Ju Mai Lin's whole body trembled. Sweat trickled down from her forehead. Binan's eyes continuously searched, but still could not find that familiar figure. His face showed doubt. Why is this? Where is his Tian Ni? Ju Mai Lin finally couldn't sit still, stood up, made an excuse to go to the bathroom, and ran out the back door. At this time, Binan took the speaker and said, I came to find Ju Mai Lin, Tian Ni. I came to find you. You don't need to be shy anymore. I also brought the rose you like the most. Do you see? Be my girlfriend. As soon as Binan's words ended, all the English majors were shocked. The faces of the classmates were all different. Some were surprised, some were scared, some were mocking, and some were scratching their ears thinking they had heard wrong. The whole classroom fell silent. After a short moment of silence, Chinese students who did not know who Ju Mai Lin was began to loudly ask, Who is Ju Mai Lin? Everyone looked at each other. Ju Mai Lin ran to the back even faster. My classmates in the same major couldn't believe it, so they asked again, Handsome guy, you said you were looking for Ju Mai Lin? Binan nodded firmly. That's right, I'm looking for Ju Mai Lin. She's an English major, why don't I see her? The classroom was once again silent. Lai Van was impeccably enthusiastic, excitedly holding my arm as if she had just discovered a new continent. Look, the handsome guy looking for Ju Mai Lin. Isn't he her online boyfriend? There are also a few boys who like to cause trouble, calling in a strange tone. Du Mai Lin, your boyfriend has come looking for you. Where are you running to? The whole class burst out laughing. Du Mai Lin lowered her head. Her face was red. She was so embarrassed that she wished there was no hole to crawl into. Binan saw everyone's expressions and finally realized something was wrong. He quickly chased after Du Mai Lin. His expression completely changed, but still asked her, "Is it Du Mai Lin?" Du Mai Lin bowed her head, covered her face, and continuously denied. "No, I'm not. You got the wrong person." Bin An's whole body stiffened. Hearing the familiar coddling tone, he could finally confirm that the person in front of him was the person he always thought was the goddess. He felt like he had lost all face. Previously, he even bragged to his friends that his girlfriend was very beautiful, so he deliberately called a lot of friends to come along. The result turned himself into a laughingstock. Bin An's face was so gloomy that it turned dark. He threw the rose bouquet in his hand into Du Mai Lin's face. "Don't you look in the mirror and check your appearance. A toad wants to eat swan meat. That's disgusting." Du Mai Lin was extremely embarrassed. At this moment, he was criticized by his own male god using such cruel words. "Didn't you say you don't love my appearance, but my insides? What a monkey's insides. You bastard." The vulgar words just kept pouring out. It cannot be said that they did not penetrate the heart. This story was filmed and even posted on social networks. Folks have many video experts, and they were quickly turned into videos exposing love online. After that, it was shared everywhere by netizens. In just a short time, Bin and Du Mai Lin have become famous people. The two of them became the topic of discussion at everyone's meal. Du Mai Lin really became famous, but famous in a negative way. She doesn't dare go out and only orders food all day. Because she was in a bad mood, she ate and drank excessively, eating up to 7 meals a day. Each meal 2 kilograms of rice, a liter of Coca-Cola, and a large cup of milk tea. Her weight also quickly skyrocketed, reaching 125 pounds. In my previous life, she leaked my private photos, causing people to point at me wherever I went. In the end, he became like a dog that lost its owner, hiding in the house and suffering from severe depression. In this life, is there anything she can't stand? I also take advantage of this time. Besides going to school, I spend the rest of my time in the practice room. GM lives again. I definitely never drink water from a Chinese bottle, only drink bottled water. If the water is opened, I absolutely do not drink it. During this time, I opened a social network account, posting my weight loss process. Every day, update my situation, including what I eat and what exercises I do each day. Gradually, I accumulated a large fan base. Din is also considered a hot girl. One day, Lai Van looked at me thoughtfully. "Am I seeing wrongly? Why do I feel like you've become thinner?" I tilted my head back to take a sip of water and calmly said, "Yes, I lost 20 pounds. 20 pounds. Lai Van raised her voice. I nodded for a moment, then glanced at Du Mai Lin. Sure enough, I saw a look of surprise on her face, followed by a flash of jealousy and dissatisfaction. I know she must feel I betrayed her. Everyone knows that in the past, there were 2 extremely fat people in the English department. I was first, she was second. Now that I'm skinny, she's become the fattest person. In her heart, she must hate me to death. Then evil thoughts began to arise. Lai Van pulled me back and looked from top to bottom. "You're really skinny. Your face has gotten smaller. Are your pants loose?" I looked back vaguely. My weight wasn't even close to being small, but my clothes were indeed one size larger. Chuang Ju also happily walked over and agreed. "It's true that the naked eye can see that you're getting thinner. All fat people have potential." Hioen, fighting. I was recognized by my roommate once again. Du Mai Lin looked at me with a gloomy face. If looks could kill, I'm afraid I would have been pierced by 10,000 arrows. While talking, Chuang Ju and Lai Van carried baskets to take a shower. "We're going to the North Bathhouse. Will you come with us?" "You guys go, I'm not going." I politely refused. In her previous life, Du Mai Lin revealed photos of me, including photos of me bathing in a public bathroom. In this life, I pay special attention. If I don't go home to shower, I also go shower at the gym. As soon as the 2 of them left, Du Mai Lin angrily questioned me. "Do you really want to break up with me? Are you, like them, laughing at me?" I glanced at her. "I'm very busy. I don't have time to laugh at you." Ju Lin rolled her eyes. She immediately changed her tone. Kyoan, it's over. Let it go. We've always been best friends. Can we make up? As soon as I heard this tone, I knew it was a bad omen, but to let her show her foxtail early, I didn't expose her right away. I agreed with her. I don't want to argue with you either. You said you wanted to break ties with me. So thanks to her intentional ingratiation and my intentional laxity, our fake close friendship was mended again. The next day, Ju Lin rubbed her hands in front of me. Seeing her lack of action, I was immediately alert. I told her, My Lin, I lack money for living expenses this month. Can you lend me some? As soon as Ju Lin heard me say I wanted to borrow money, her face immediately changed. Why don't you have money? If you don't have money, who will lend it to you? I knew that every time she showed that look, she wanted to borrow money from me and was just using a stick to beat my back. Why do I need money? My money is all used to buy courses with personal trainers. Kyoan, don't lose weight anymore. I see you've been losing weight for so long, but it's not effective at all. I'd rather have a meal together with that money. No need. I seriously refused. Aren't we best friends? You wouldn't stop losing weight for me. You're too selfish. She was full of resentment and criticized me, as if I had done something very immoral to her. I laughed coldly. I spend my money. What does it have to do with you? As a result, we broke up again. She saw me frowning, took a moment to say sarcastic words to me. I also pretended not to see. Our relationship was no longer there. After the incident that exposed her online love, her spirit deteriorated and she never wanted to go out. But suddenly, without knowing what was wrong, she suddenly thought clearly and not only started going out, but also started going to class. She also enthusiastically speaks out every time someone uses online love stories to mock her. She responded politely, saying that her ability to meet handsome men was due to her charm, and that she was just a little fat, and that if she were thinner, she would definitely be very beautiful. Thick skin is unrivaled. Gradually, people felt bored and stopped talking about her. Wow, in one day I lost 8 pounds. 8 pounds. No amount of people can do that in a month. Ju Lin stood on the scale and exclaimed exaggeratedly. During this time, I often saw her taking a light pink pill. That type of weight loss drug was also very popular in its previous life, but it was a drug produced by an illegal drug factory. The side effects of the drug on the body are extremely large. It will quickly absorb water in the body, creating false weight loss. Not long after, that pharmacy will close, and the owner will also face the risk of going to jail. After getting off the scale, she immediately buried her head in a large bowl of rice with pork belly and sauce. She was so fascinated with this pill that she even took double the dose every day because she wanted to lose weight successfully. That's why I lost 8 pounds a day. In the blink of an eye, it's been 2 months and I've lost 25 pounds again, down to 80 pounds. Although my body still looks fat, it is much more balanced and doesn't look like a tank like before. At least in the crowd, I no longer stand out so much that I can be considered normal. Once you are skinny, you can cover up 100 bad things. My 5 senses were originally delicate and sharp, but now that they are thinner, the advantages of my 5 senses are immediately apparent. Just add a little makeup, and you can be considered a beautiful woman with style. My classmates also noticed my changes, competing to praise me for my beauty. Many male friends also want to get closer to me. As for Ju Lin, after taking the medicine, not only did she not lose weight, but her weight also continued to skyrocket. Even because of the hormones and the medicine, her face was full of acne. The whole face is rough, concave, some deep and some shallow, so heavy that one has to wear a mask when going out. When people complimented me, she always sat not far away, with a gloomy expression, staring at me, her eyes extremely cruel. I knew she was definitely going to harm me. I just didn't expect it to happen so quickly. One day, on the school's anonymous forum, a post appeared. In there is a photo of me with a bare face, and also when I was at my fattest. The person who was confessed who was the school's #1 male god, Nin Dain Hai. Nin Dain Hai is the male god of the school's finance department, recognized as both handsome and good at studying. Every year he receives a scholarship and is always at the top of the department. The content of the post was extremely pretentious. The writer called himself me, used an arrogant tone, saying that being able to get my attention was his blessing. Otherwise, with his beauty, he can only warm the bed for others, told him not to be ungrateful, and quickly added the chat rules. This post just appeared and immediately caused a storm. Everyone laughed at me, not knowing my own strength. A woman as ugly as a pig dared to dream of Prince Bakma. Is this Miss Phuong Doine? Haha, I'm dying of laughter. Where does she get such confidence? She probably doesn't know 2 words. How to write scabies. If she just shook her head, she would probably hear the sound of water. She should look in the mirror. Maybe she will know her fate. I asked her to participate in the sumo competition in Japan, winning the country's first prize. Oh my God, I want to wash my eyes so bad, it's so ugly. In a short time, all kinds of evil words attacked me from all directions. I saw that post. The first person I thought of was Jumai. Besides her, there is no one else, because she was the one who had her love revealed online and was ridiculed by people. So now she also wants me to taste that taste. Sure enough, in less than 2 days, the fox's tail appeared. Jumai ran in front of me, looking gloating. Kyoan, it turns out you like Nin Dain Hai? So your eye for people is not bad, but your competitive pressure is still very big. I heard that the school's beauty queen is also pursuing him. Are you talking nonsense? With that tone, you can tell it's not Kyoan. Who would use a photo ID to confess their love? Lai Van angrily objected. What do you know? You're under Kyoan's bed. Jumai replied proudly. My ID photo is always kept in the drawer in the dormitory bedroom, so there are only a few people who can do this. I looked at Jumai, and sure enough, a trace of guilt appeared on her face. I laughed coldly. I'm going out for a moment. Where are you going? Lai Van asked. Report the police. Hearing me say I wanted to call the police, a bit of panic appeared on Jumai face. But when she thought about it, she felt that she was hiding her identity and could not be investigated, so she felt proud again. At that time, I wasn't joking, I actually went to the police. After receiving the notice of acceptance, I took a photo and posted it online with the words, "The photo is mine, but the post is not me." I reported to the police. The internet is not an outlawed place. The police will definitely give me a satisfactory explanation. Those who use my appearance to attack me, fat or thin, is my freedom. Whether fat or thin, I am still unique in the world. The internet also needs to be responsible for its words, otherwise I will sue all of you. I already have a bit of a reputation as someone who shares weight loss experiences. The article Tan Min just posted immediately received widespread shares from netizens. Everyone did not expect things to take such a turn. While I was broadcasting live, someone even asked me in the video, I look so cute. Is it because I use a photo editing app to slim my face? I answered because I've been losing weight recently, having lost more than 60 pounds. There are also people who tease me, saying I look cute when I'm fat. I don't care about this, and at the same time my fan base is increasing. Everyone is competing to cheer me on. I also received apologies from some people because the situation was not clear before. As for Jumai, she is still smugly thinking that I won't be able to find her. After seeing my clarification, she deleted the post. That night, she thought that if she posted anonymously, no one would find her, but one day while we were studying, the police came to her. She was so scared that her face turned white, and she spoke tremblingly. I've always been a law-abiding citizen. I don't know what the police are looking for me for. When the police said that the anonymous posting account was hers, she immediately felt guilty and kept shaking her head. No, it's not me. I don't know. You guys are looking for the wrong person. She didn't shed tears until she saw the coffin. It wasn't until the police presented evidence and took her away that she lost hope. Seeing her being taken away by the police, the whole class rushed up. Lai Van said angrily, "It turned out to be her. I should have thought of it." At that time, I even came to laugh at Kyoan. You arrogant, hateful little person. My classmates competed with each other to defend me. Jumai made up a story about harming a classmate and was discovered. A classmate took a photo of her being taken away by the police and posted it online. Some people even realized that this was the female lead in the previous online love scandal. Immediately, the curses came like a tidal wave. Netizens say she has a cruel heart. Some say she is already bad, and her temper is even worse. There was even someone who told him to go see his goddess. For this, Benin only posted 3 vomiting icons. I posted another clarification post. Thank you everyone for your support and concern. The person who falsely framed me has been found and was placed in administrative detention for 5 days. I have never confessed my love to anyone, and I also don't want to be used and harmed by others. Below the post was filled with comments, people competing to comfort me. Some people tease me, some people are happy for me. Even Nin Dain Hai personally commented. Understood. After that, Nin Dain Hai even became a WeChat friend with me, saying he was very sorry that I had to suffer so much frustration because of him. I know this is not his fault. Of course I won't be angry. A few days later, Mai Lin was released and was called to the office by her homeroom teacher. I don't know specifically what they talked about. I just know that when she went out, she cried and ran. While running hastily, he fell down on the spot, causing the homeroom teacher passing by to jump in surprise. The homeroom teacher quickly called an ambulance. 2 doctors and 6 male friends had to work together to get her into the ambulance. Some time ago, she used too many weight loss pills, her kidneys were overloaded, her body was seriously dehydrated, and her stomach also had ulcers. Moreover, he had just had a trip to the police station, so he fainted. For this, I feel only contempt. She paid it herself. The hospital bill was more than 10,000 yuan, but she couldn't pay it. In the end, I had to take out a family loan. She normally doesn't dare to tell her family. She can only go around and borrow from friends. But her reputation is already bad. Everyone stays away. Who still lends her money? At the end of the day, she came to me again by phone. I just said no money. She started cursing. Lam Kioan, it's all because of you that I'm like this. Why don't you help me? It's because of you that I'm so miserable. You must take responsibility. Without lending, I still only say 3 words. Lam Kioan, you won't be at peace. You are responsible for me. I pressed the record button and saved the call. I've already recorded it. If you talk nonsense again, I'll sue you for defamation. The other end of the line immediately softened their voice. Kioan, please, I was wrong. Aren't we best friends? Please help me. I didn't pay attention to her rudeness and hung up. A few days later, I heard that she was hospitalized again and missed her final exam, and could only retake it in the final semester. At that time, information about the company that produced weight loss pills was spreading online. It turned out to be an illegal medicine factory that basically had no effect on weight loss and was even harmful to the body. During the 2 months of summer vacation, besides sleeping, I was almost always at the gym. The effect is also very obvious. I lost another 25 pounds and have now become a great beauty. Height 1.7 m, weight 55 kilograms, perfect body shape. The next time I appeared in perfect shape during a live broadcast, everyone was amazed. During this time, I have always taken care of my account and have now become a hot girl online. Wow, so beautiful Kioan, please share the secret. Indeed, every fat person has the potential to be so beautiful that it makes you cry. I also wanted to try to lose weight. I succeeded, bringing motivation to many people who are worried about weight. I know Mai Lin is always watching my every move. These actions of mine are to stimulate her, make her jealous, and make her crazy. In my previous life, she thought my successful weight loss was a betrayal and then harmed me. In this life, I gave her enough time to think about how to deal with it. I lured the enemy deeper. This time it was definitely not just a few more days of detention. If I didn't put her in there for a few years, I'd be sorry to my past life self. Very quickly, the first day of school arrived. She suddenly had an unusual expression and greeted me friendly. He even praised me. Kioan, you've really slimmed down. You're so amazing. You look so beautiful now. What secret did you use? Teach me. It was as if things never happened before. But no matter how well she disguised herself, I still caught a glimpse of her calculating and cruel eyes. She saw that I didn't say anything, so she started saying sweet things. Kioan, are you still angry with me? I know I was wrong. Even though I took revenge on you, you're back. I'm still in detention. You know, after what happened to Ben, I was just confused for a while. I don't know why I was like that. I glanced at her, asking the question I had wondered for 2 lifetimes. Why do you want revenge on me? She was stunned, obviously not expecting me to ask this question. Oh, I can't answer. Is she saying that she's jealous of my success in losing weight? Kioan, let's let it go in the past, okay? Let's make peace, okay? I laughed without a care. Okay, let's make peace. If we don't make peace, how can we give her the opportunity to poison me? That's great. We'll still be good sisters from now on. But the eyes she showed were too obvious, like a poisonous snake lurking in the dark, ready to strike out and bite someone at any moment. In the evening, Truong Ju and Lai Van Van pulled me together to look at me from top to bottom, constantly praising me for my beauty. Although Ju Mai Lin still chimed in, her tone was actually a bit awkward. Kyoan, I'm tired all day today. Let's go take a bath together. She couldn't wait to invite me to the public bath. In her previous life, she took many photos of me bathing in a public bathroom to post online. I picked up the workout clothes on the table. I want to go to GM's gym. Just go take a shower. It's late, and you still want to go? Yes. Even though I've lost weight, I'm used to exercising every day and can't ignore it. It's because I'm tired that I have to exercise. Her expression stiffened, thinking I was implying she was fat. I don't mean it like that. I'm just used to practicing. Furthermore, I don't want to take a bath with her either. Over time, she often invited me to take a bath, but I refused over and over again. Later, she wanted to follow me into the bathroom and even secretly took pictures while I was in there, but I refused. Every time I go to the bathroom, I lock the door carefully. Even when changing clothes, I close the curtains tightly, leaving her no chance. After this semester, I started using my water glass again, changed my habits, and only drank bottled water from the first semester. Sure enough, she, after searching for an opportunity without success, finally aimed at my glass of water. She bought birth control pills for Sao's online and was about to put them in my glass of water. That day, I wore headphones to broadcast live. She didn't know I was broadcasting. She just assumed I was calling. Her eyes kept glued to my glass of water. I knew the opportunity had come. So, I said goodbye to the fans, said I wanted to go downstairs to get food, then pointed the camera at the glass of water and put my cell phone in a hidden corner. Thus, only Ju Mai Lin was left in the dormitory. She looked at my glass of water, revealing a devilish smile. I just saw her take out a packet of medicine, then open the lid of my glass of water and quickly pour it in. She showed an excited expression, a fierce, scary expression, as if she had seen my pitiful appearance, and also showed a bit of strange joy. Let you be thin. Let you be thin. You should forever stay in the mud as a bug that can't raise its head forever. She did not expect that her crime process would be seen by all the fans in the live broadcast room. Someone even filmed it. When I returned, Ju Mai Lin was watching movies and drinking milk tea. Everything was normal, as if what just happened had never happened. Fans kept texting me, reminding me not to drink water that someone had put drugs in. Thanks to the fans' reminder, I accidentally felt something unusual. After that, I panicked and went to the police. There is video evidence. It is certainly irrefutable. When the police handcuffed her, Ju Mai Lin was still bewildered. When Ju Mai Lin was taken into the car by the police, a large crowd of people gathered around to watch. She looked at me with fierce, cruel eyes, constantly cursing me. Lam Kyoan, you scoundrel, you will not die peacefully. You have ruined my life. And said she won't forgive me. This story quickly became hot. Public opinion leaned towards one side, simultaneously demanding strict handling. The school also announced its decision to expel Ju Mai Lin. In the end, Ju Mai Lin, for her failed poisoning act, was sentenced to 5 years in prison. Not long after, police received an anonymous tip. The content is that a gangster in the suburbs murdered a girl. That was the story of my previous life when I was about to die and heard Ju Mai Lin and that other scoundrel say. Before that, this scoundrel murdered a girl. Location and time are both available. The police arrived just in time to save the girl. The gangster was also sentenced to 15 years in prison for his failed murder. At this point, everyone will receive the reward they deserve. It's okay, don't worry. When I turned around, Nin Dain Hai was holding my hand to comfort me. Later, I found out that day, Nin Dain Hai was also watching my live broadcast and quickly recorded a video as evidence. He even texted me via chat telling me not to say anything. First, find a reason to go out and report to the police, afraid that if I argued with Ju Mai Lin in the bedroom, I would anger her during the reporting process. He accompanied me. Everyone gets their retribution. I also get my happiness. Maybe I also have to thank Ju Mai Lin, this matchmaker. After graduating, Nin Dain Hai and I got married. A year later, she gave birth to twins, a boy and a girl. A family of 4, complete happiness. Complete. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to hear more great stories.